good whatever time you're watching this, people. This is your obligatory content warning. This episode contains adult themes and naughty words not suitable for a younger audience. Discretion is advised.
Yo, and I'm just saying now before people kick off, Charisma may be a simple little girl, but she is more than old enough to talk about the things that she's going to talk about, okay? Yeah, deal with it. And if there's one episode that might get me in trouble, it's this one, so watch it and enjoy it while you can. Who knows what the future's going to hold. Yo, how's it going? Welcome to the Minecraft Breakdown with me, your host, Rodney12, the Mighty Gulliver. Thanks for popping by. I sound so fake. After coming home to find my stuntman in bed with my gun model, Lady Gulliver, which kicked off a massive argument which totally stressed me out, I decided to have a holiday and relax a bit before I went back to making Minecraft content.
Hello there. You've seen me before, but I don't think we've had a proper introduction. My name's Charisma. Nice to meet you. Rodney, Mr. Gulliver, sir, has asked me to fill in for an episode while he sorts his head out and relaxes a bit. Poor handsome bloke is dealing with a lot right now, but episodes don't make themselves, and he left me some jobs to do. First thing on the agenda is easier access to the functional underground cave kingdom. Let's have a look outside. Look, I'm with a cow. Anyway, logistics. The cave kingdom bed is located roughly here, and basically I need to make an entrance to put some stairs in for a more direct accessibility. I was going to start underground in here. Bad pick. I was going to start the installation here, place stairs and dig upwards until I was outside, thus ensuring an easier traversal between the above ground and the downstairs cave kingdom. Oh, yeah, while we're talking about downstairs cave kingdoms, I got curious and had a look at mine. Well, I couldn't see it properly at first because of all the hair. Yes, I am not a natural blonde, but once I pruned my bush, I discovered that it looked like 2 rich crisps. It was so cute. Just in case you were wondering, though, it doesn't taste like crisps. Charisma got the good num-nums. Although, I will admit I rode the curious train for a few extra stops when I looked at myself when I was in season. Blooming horror show. Nature's bonkers. Anyway, I needed some tools for the excavation. Mr. Gulliver had an enchanted iron pickaxe that needed repair, so I got a fresh one that I could combine it with using a fresh anvil in Mr. Gulliver's bookshed. I'm just a simple little girl, but the self-explanatory nature of the anvil's repair menu was very intuitive as I was new to the trade of blacksmithing, and before I left I paid verbal tribute to my new favoured deity. All hail Tool Satan! He's so blooming cute. Even though where I was going was mostly safe, I wanted to carry a shank just in case my innocence was threatened. Some people just deserve cutting. I've killed a lot. I made 2 stone shovels for the dirt I was eventually going to run into, and then I got some oak logs and made some stairs. Once underground, I began the excavations and installation of the connecting route. Now, I'm not as fancy as explaining the things as Mr. Gulliver is, so, I installed steps. I sort of put a frame around the top bit, and then I replaced the wall blocks with oak planks to match Mr. Gulliver's base aesthetics, and then I thought it looked okay. I took some time out for myself and rode the horsey around the property as night fell on the overworld. I was going to finish the day by repairing the pickaxe I had used, but I didn't have enough experience to complete the procedure. So, not wanting to do half a job, I pulled up my socks, headed down to the skeleton spawner and set myself up to be in the mood for violently poking something for the experience. Ooh, speaking of which, there's my payment for this episode. Fletchers. Fletchers go hard as fuck.
Informative infographic time.
Down at the Enforced Murder Box, I fatally wounded enough skeletons to harvest their souls and absorb their knowledge into my brain, so I was smart enough to pay the intelligence tax the anvil charges for its use. Then I repaired the pickaxe. Outside, there was this awkward moment with a sheep where it was just fucking staring me out. I didn't really know what to do. I didn't want to show any signs of aggression or anything, so I just kind of let it drink in my hotness until it was satisfied. Look, this is flattering and everything, but I've got jobs to do. The second job I had on my list was to collect sand for our glass-obsessed hero. Stone shovels were crafted as I didn't want to waste the iron, and I refueled the stick furnace with the wood I had left over from the stair job. Over at the desert, I kicked the bollocks off a randy dead midget that was literally trying to eat my fanny. I took them as a souvenir, hoping they would act as a deterrent to other pests trying to drink up my milkshake. After the fight, I got on with the sand collection, and I got as much as I could. I put the sand in the furnace to let whatever nuclear process happen in there happen, and then I had a snack before beddy bars. Mr. Gulliver's bed smelt of pimp and string.
Who's the pimp that produces lots of string? It's Gulliver.
So I changed the bedding and made myself presentable before I went to town on myself. It helps me sleep. Tonight's weapon of choice is a rolling pin I found in one of Mr. Gulliver's chests. I used to have a vibrating redstone-powered wand, but I got carried away one night and I had an accident. I literally fucked myself over. My room smelled like pork scratches for a week. And when it comes to self-pleasure, I stick to the Amish way of life now, if you get what I'm saying. No motors. Ooh. I awoke fresh the next day and checked my to-do list. Apparently I needed some wood to line the walls of the cave kingdom. I did that last night. Trying to be as prepared as I could, I went into the caves to have a look at what needed doing, and I wandered into a bit of a crisis. I walked in on a llama's attempt at self-deletion. It was intense. I cut the llama down and we had a chat once to calm down a bit. It turns out the llama was getting wise to the ways of capitalism, and once it started to question the price of a pufferfish in a bucket, its owner began an abusive cycle of torment which led to feelings of inadequacy. Now look, unless you are the ruthless bastard selling pufferfish in a bucket for 5 fucking emeralds, do not try and end your own life. It is not worth it, and neither is hurting yourself. And if you do feel a little bit down in the dumps, seek professional help and talk about it. You do not have to be alone. I needed some wood for planks. Oh, hold on. Mr. Gulliver gave me a note about this very situation. Just like people making a baby the traditional way, I needed raw wood so I could redecorate the inside of the cave. So I got some logs and knocked out some planks like a carpenter into isometric conditioning. So I did all that stuff I just read out, and I ended up packing more wood than I'd ever need. The next bit was a doddle. It was just installing a wall, so I installed a new wall in front of the old wall. Presumably for that I've got a wall behind this wall vibe. I don't know. I'm just a simple little girl, not wise in the ways of complex wall dynamics. Loads of things could be happening with that wall that I'm not aware of right now. I filled in both holes to the cave kingdom, and by the time I finished I was very tired. Before bedtime I played my mandatory self-acknowledgement, and I decided no tools were necessary for this endeavour. I wanted to push my own buttons, if you get me. And top tip, people, when dealing with a lady's front-facing cave, find the bit that looks like this and fiddle with it. Because, oh my god, that bit is a fucking game changer, let me tell you. Word. Ooh. In the morning, I found out the little zombie balls I collected for protection didn't quite work because the smelly man tried biting me a few times before I smoked him with a sword. I had a snack after to heal and replenish. Outside I realised I wasn't happy with the new entrance looking all basic, so I took inspiration from Mr. Gulliver's base and settled on something a little bit more angular in design. I got some wood. Mr. Gulliver didn't leave me with 2 wood jokes. I can do it. Yeah. I got wood like your mother, 'cause she likes any promiscuous activities where up to 4 men take turns. I collected some glass that had finished cooking in the furnace, which seemed to take ages because before I knew it was time for bed again. I got into my PJs and my curious mind started wondering and imagining what it'd be like to be in a room full of Fletchers. Ooh, villagers might be a bit dumb from time to time, but I don't really care because all of them are basically centaurs, if you get what I'm saying. I like big uns, don't kink shame me. Ooh. I woke up feeling as fresh as I smelled, and after breakfast I knocked up a lovely frame at an angle and used glass for walls. It looked wicked, but the overhang didn't look quite right, so I added a second structure which Mr. Gulliver could use for bees or something equally as buzzing. Who knows? He didn't ask me to do it, but I thought it'd make everything look neat, and the added functionality of an extra finger just pleased him more, thus making it more likely he wouldn't mind if I went and played with his Fletchers more than once in the future. The next job on the list had me a bit worried. Mr. Gulliver wanted his nether hub expanded and decorating with a special wood from a warped forest. He left me a map showing me where the nearest forest was in relation to his base, so I wasn't going to be wandering blindly around his nether regions. Which is a good thing, because last time I explored my own nether regions without a clue I got a bit carried away. It took me ages to relax after my ordeal. I got some food, pickaxes and shovels ready and filled up the rest of my inventory with cobblestone to use as a bridging material. Once I had all that sorted, I travelled into the nether to get my bearings. This was the direction I needed to be heading in, so I went that way until a wall halted my progress. And then I broke through the wall, because I'm not about walls, and I was presented with a large crimson forest. Sorry, wrong picture. And then I was presented with a large crimson forest. I started to bridge out over the scarlet shrubbery, and it wasn't long before I could see my destination in the distance. As I approached the warped forest, I got a bit giddy and did my best simple little girl impression by forgetting the importance of crouching when one is precariously perched and fell off the bridge. The floor gave me a good molly-whopping upon impact, and I died as one would expect. After respawning and doing a bit of creative parkour to get my stuff back, a gas sighting slapped me back into the reality that I was in a lot more danger than I wanted to be in. Warped forests are also Enderman territory, and there were 3 of them on the hunt looking to kick off with anyone unlucky enough to stare at them too long. They are so self-conscious. So here's a little bit of Minecraft trivia for the quizzical among you. When performing naughty physical activities, male Endermen don't slide back and forth like most people do. They kind of teleport in and out of you at great speeds, and things can get well messy too if you understand my meaning. My pee had Enderman glitter in it for days after my own experience. Also, if you imbibe some, you get a random magical power for about a minute or so. Anyway, I had a job to do, so I crafted a few more axes and I started to drop more logs than a lumberjack with diarrhea. Over the next hour or so, I collected more wood and... hold on, there's a joke here. What joke? Over the next hour or so, I grabbed as much wood as I could, just like your mum, because she's a slag! And then I died falling into lava. I lost everything. Undeterred, I went back to the Nether again, and then I had another fallout with physics, which angered me. I was monstrously stressed with my test, so I went back to my house so I could use my phone to contact Mr. Gulliver and voice my frustration.
Charisma, what's up? How you doing?
I'm not happy, Mr. Gulliver, and I wanted a quick chat. Are you okay? Are you enjoying your holiday?
Not gonna lie, I've been better. But, what's your problem?
I'm experiencing a lot of trauma, Mr. Gulliver, sir. I've been having a lot of
I'm
problems.
gonna stop you there, Charisma. Let me guess. You've been to the Nether, blah blah blah, gravity hates you, you're very flammable, and fuck going back.
Your interruption is very accurate. You just hit the nail on the head.
Well, I've been there. Hold on. Did you just say knit the nail on the Ned?
Correct.
You're saying it wrong. It's hit the nail on the head.
Don't be silly. Nails ain't got heads.
No, Chris, they have, but it's what you... Look, it's what you say when someone says something on point.
Why? Why hit on the head if you're on point? The pointy bits at the other end should be just like put the pointy bit in the plank or something. It's stupid.
More stupid than knitting a nail on the Ned. Who the fuck is Ned, and why does knitting a nail to him signify being correct?
I'm just a simple little girl not wise in the ways of the historical etymology behind applauding an individual's observational truth within a catchy phrase, but using 2 pointy things to knit another pointy thing to someone's head is visually very on point. That's well pointy, and it's my understanding that the reason Ned was involved have been lost amongst the tales of modern folklore. No one really knows where Ned came from or where he was when he was punished in such a way. What?
Charisma, you are so special.
I love you too. But anyway, I'm not doing that bit and you can't make me.
Okay. Look, I'll meet you halfway. Like, the wood was just for decoration, I suppose. So, just go and make the portal safe for me. Just grab some glass and make a little safe house.
I don't want to. You can't make me. Please don't make me do it. Do not make me want to do it. No, I don't want to.
Unlimited access to the iron farm.
You just bodied Ned. I am on it. After reacquainting myself with enthusiasm, I headed back to Mr. Gulliver's base where I got some glass and some chests for storage in the Nether. Over a snack, I wondered if Mr. Gulliver would let me expand his horizons and dilate his metaphorical Nether region portal. He's quite kinky, so I thought I'd drop a hint and widen his actual Nether portal just in case. Start subtle. I rummaged around his tool cabinet and found a diamond pick I could use that was super efficient. Not only would it allow me to mine some extra obsidian for the aforementioned portal expansion, it'd also speed up digging in the Nether so I didn't have to spend longer there than necessary. I grabbed some lava and then shit kicked off as these 3 amigos turned up looking for a literal taste of my booty. The zombie testicles almost worked like a charm as one of them decided to run away, leaving his 2 pals to taste nothing but my merciless brutality. 2 blocks of obsidian were made and then collected as I went off into the Nether to start my new task. No drama, I just widened the portal. Potato! I marked out an area around the portal and quickly began to make space for the safe house. I pushed back the walls so everything was nice and square, and then I dug out the floor and ceiling which outlined the area I wanted to glass up, which I did promptly, encasing the portal within a glass cube of transparent safeness. What I'm planning for is the classic design of a glass cube within another glass cube, incorporating the ever so popular "it ain't broke so don't fix it" angle of 90-degree angled walls. Fresh. As I was digging out the ceiling, I did a little bit of dying by way of ignition. When I opened up a lava pocket, I got caught in a shower of liquid PTSD with its phasers set to fry, but I was lucky enough to have the ingenuity to run away screaming while I burned so my stuff wasn't lost. After that ordeal, 2 trespassers tried to lock, but I wasn't scared. I'm not afraid to do murder when protecting my turf. It's mine. I made some more pickaxes and then I used the last of the glass to mark out a frame for the outer cube and outline 2 doorways. I went back to the overworld for more glass. I arrived just as it was falling dark, so I got ready for bed. I disinfected this bone morning I made shovels for sand collection and I went out to the desert. By nightfall I collected as much as I could be bothered to. Back in the Nether I installed some walkwood stairs down to the inner cube's floor and I erected a triple furnace setup so I could get a head start on the sand to glass conversion process. While that was cooking, I went to go and get a bit more sand because I needed as much glass as I could for the project, and then I came back to clear out the netherrack under the inner cube, which went pretty smooth without a hitch. By the time I had mined out all the netherrack, all the glass was ready, although the furnaces were out of fuel, so I had to go and get more fuel because they needed more fuel. Using the glass, I began the outer cube structure, and it wasn't until I ran out that I thought that I should have gone and got more sand before I started to have that cooking before I did the cube. Rookie mistake. So I went and got more sand and sourced more coal from various places around Mr. Gulliver's base. Now, the astute among you may have noticed that I forgot the fancy pickaxe I was bragging about. So, while I waited for the sand to turn into glass, I used it efficiently to kick the shit out of the Nether as payback for its previous disrespect of my partial mortality. Take that, you soulless dimension! The last of the glass was then removed from the furnace and used to finish the outer cube and put a walkway around the outer perimeter of the inner cube within the outer cube outside the inner cube. The furnaces were then uninstalled from the premises and that was it. All of my tasks were complete. Ha ha ha! I'm going for a bath. Tonight's going to be wicked. Very naked and definitely not afraid, I walked over to the iron farm to soak in my prize from high above, perched on a ledge like a sexy voyeuristic Batman. Once I got down to the facility, I picked out a Fletcher using a complicated algorithm I've been developing for a bit. Ooh, hello. Ooh, Peter. I hope you like crisps, Peter.
Fuck off.
Wheat and seeds, yo, I need some more. Wheat and seeds, where do you keep yours? Wheat and seeds, yo, I need some more. Wheat and seeds, where do you keep yours?